Newcastle just slammed the door on a Lewis Hall exit, and in response United have quietly triggered a €16 million release clause for a 19-year-old Spanish sensation, a move that unlocks a £65 million deal for Carlos Boliba and a fresh raid on Edmund Tapsoba. Stick around because these three deals connect in a way most fans haven't clocked yet. The transfer window is falling apart in these closing days, and United are right in the middle of it. We've needed a left-back all summer, and with Newcastle refusing to budge on Hall, the recruitment department has pivoted hard. United are closing in on Jorge, a 19-year-old defensive gem out of Spain's second-tier, Atletico. Madrid are panicking, Barcelona have already stepped away, and United are preparing to activate his absurdly low clause, worth roughly £13.7 million. Here's the thing, though. This isn't really about one teenager. It's the first domino in a much bigger plan, one that clears the runway for Boliba and leaves enough left over for Tapsoba too. So why pivot away from Hall after chasing him for 3 months? Simple. Newcastle got greedy. Flush with cash from summer sales, they slapped a £70 million premium on their own left back and have now opened contract talks to keep him at the club permanently. The message to United has been blunt. Hall is not for sale. United can't justify £70 million when there are bigger gaps elsewhere. So they've walked and pivoted to the cheap alternative instead. That decision also protects the midfield rebuild. United have already spent £85 million this summer, and after a key midfielder was ruled out with a serious knee injury, they went hard for Brighton's Carlos Boliba. Brighton knocked back an opening £60 million bid on Thursday, but United came straight back with an improved package worth £65 million total, and personal terms are already done. Quick one before we carry on. If you're enjoying these daily United breakdowns, now's the moment to hit subscribe, because this story is about to get even bigger. Now here's the maths. £65 million on Boliba on top of £85 already spent, and United are still carrying Marcus Rashford's enormous weekly wage. Throwing another £70 million at Hall would have pushed them dangerously close to breaching profit and sustainability rules by going for the cheap Spanish teenager instead. United save over £50 million, a genuinely smart piece of business. And that saved money opens the door to 2 more moves. First, Barcelona's Alejandro Balde has been mentioned in talks, but he's suffered 3 separate hamstring injuries in the last year alone. A major red flag United don't need on top of Luke Shaw's own fitness record. The Spanish teenager, by contrast, is durable, played 34 games last season, and is hungry to prove himself. Not a difficult decision. The real payoff, though, is at centre-back. United are reportedly leading the race for Leverkusen's Edmund Tapsoba, ahead of both Tottenham and Newcastle, with Leverkusen willing to sell for around £42.8 million. He's 27, comfortable on the left side of a back two, which matters given how injury-prone Lisandro Martinez has become, and his numbers are elite, over 90% passing accuracy in the Bundesliga last season. United can only afford him because they refused to overpay for Hall. Step back and the picture is clear. A long-term successor to Luke Shaw, a midfield anchor in Boliba, and still enough left in the budget for Tapsoba. That's not panic buying, that's a plan. So what's the final take? For years we watched United throw huge money at players who never quite fit. This sequence, starting with a release clause most fans had never heard of, suggests something has genuinely shifted behind the scenes. It's calculated, it's disciplined, and it's the approach this club has needed for a decade. Let me know in the comments, are you excited about this teenager instead of Hall, or should United have paid the Newcastle premium anyway? And subscribe with notifications on, because with deadline day approaching, the next update could land at any moment.